Hi there, good morning. Mrs. Long here, and we're ready to move on with our biology lessons. By now, you have mastered the last lesson, which was focusing on the 8 characteristics that all living things share. And so we are going to move forward from there. You might remember that during that lesson about the characteristics that all living things share, one of our vocab words were stimuli. So we're going to focus there. That's where we're going to pick up our focus today. And not only are we going to emphasize the meaning of the word stimuli, but we're going to be able to identify the responses that come to that stimuli. So each organism has a very specific response to a specific stimuli. And so that's where our focus is really going to begin. So I also, before we get into the content, I would like to just show you the outline here in your digital notebook and just share with you the expectations that I have for this lesson. So right now we are currently or you are currently watching the instructional video. During this video, you will need to take notes, enter vocabulary, and do a journal response. Once that's concluded, then you're going to get into the self-paced practice work, and you're probably already familiar, but I'll tell you again that the green assignments, number 1 and 2, those are must-dos. The should-do assignments are your yellows, that's number 3 and 4 here, and the aspire to do would be this last assignment here, which is indicated with a red color, and that is a virtual simulated PhET lab. Your progress tracker will need to be completed at the end of each period. In that progress tracker, you'll also see some soft due dates for each of these assignments, and then you will be ready for the mastery check. Right now, the mastery check link is not accessible to you, but when you show me that all your progress has been completed, then I will be able to share that link with you. So let's get right into it. Stimulus and response. Why do animals or plants respond in a certain way? This is really about understanding the cause and effect in the animal world. Now, there's another vocabulary word. So here's an opportunity for you. I need you to pause the video at this time and open up your digital notebook, your digital science notebook, if you haven't already. And I would like for you to describe a situation in which you were immediately scared or that you reacted quickly to something. Write at least a paragraph, which would be no more than 4 sentences. This will go into your journal. And then on the vocab page, I'd like you to take out your various colors and get ready to write some vocab. You should be pausing the video. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to do this, and then we are going to reconvene. So today you will be able to identify and classify stimulus as either internal or external. You're going to define a response, and you're going to be able to identify behaviors learned as either behavioral or instinctual. So, stimulus. Now, I know that you have seen this definition before, but here it is. It is worded a little differently, and I think it's important to see vocabulary words written in, just various ways to get a better understanding. So, stimulus is any change in an organism's environment that causes the organism to react. It's a fancy way of saying cause, and today we're going to focus on the response or the effect. And speaking of response is how the organism reacts to the stimuli and the results in change in behavior. It's a fancy way of saying effect. So at this time, I'm going to ask you to pause the video again and enter both stimuli and response as it's worded here in your on your vocabulary pages in your digital science notebook. All right, a few minutes have passed, and most of you have been able to enter those vocabulary words in your notebook. So we're going to jump into examples. If you're hungry, you eat food. As a rabbit gets scared, it runs away. When you're cold, you put on a jacket. A dog is hot, so it lies in the shade. And when it starts raining, you take out an umbrella. These are some general stimuli and responses, but we are going to get into more biological ones. For example, if you have a plant at home or you've ever had a garden outside, you may have observed that plants will grow in a specific direction. Not all plants grow straight and tall. Some of them are actually leaning. This is especially true of house plants because often with a house plant, you put it near a window, and so only one side of the plant is getting light. And because, as we know, plants need sunlight to create their own food through photosynthesis, they will lean towards the light. So the stimulus, I should say, is the light, the sunlight coming through the window. And the effect or the response is the leaning of the plant. Now, they actually call this phototropism. At this time, I'm going to pause the video again, and I want you to try to think of your own examples of a time when you've experienced a stimuli and what their response was. You're going to do this with your partner at a Think, Pair, Share. All right. Lesson 1 is over for now. And of course, you can go back and watch this video anytime you like. This is just a little sneak peek because on this same slideshow, there is Lesson 2 begins as well. But I'll be back in another video to talk to you more about Lesson 2. So at this time, you want to go through your progress tracker and begin your practice work for Lesson 1. Thanks.